Okay. What's up, people? How you doing? We live. All right, folks, my name is Tim Black. Welcome back to the Tim Black Show. It is Sunday, the 13th of October, and you are sober and you are here, so give it up for my people in the house. Mostly sober. Yo, check it out, fam. This is it's a great thing to be here tonight on a Sunday. It's a great thing to get the week started with a bang. And it's going to be a bang, folks, because the title, Kamala's Catastrophic Kollapse. And I was trying to decide between collapse and chaos. I think we'll call it a collapse. How about a collapse? All right. So I want to say what's up to my people on YouTube. What's up, Buck Bewley? He is my moderator up there. What's up, Buck Bewley? Bewley. In his house. What's happening? Tony B said sober. I guess I'll speak for myself, Tony. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man. You think I go crazy eyes on a regular show? You don't want to see me lit. Like Tim. Oh man, I'm way too relaxed if I brother. One thing I do not do is come on the air with any type of libations. That's me personally. I can't, but do as you will. Kathy Sanders, Jay Hogan, Maddie to you, the town I live in. Cedric Gertie, what's up? What's good? Free Falling, Lucas Meggs, Black Boy B1. You know it is. Dandy Jim Buckley. Okay, Dandy Jim Buckley. Black Mamba's in the house. Robert Dalton. Black Mamba, thank you, sister, for trying to reach out. You're amazing. Thank you, sister. And look, guys, Nigel, what's up, Michael Dalton? What's up, Robert Dalton? I got two Daltons in the house. Oh, Dodson. I'm sorry, Michael Dodson. Robert Dalton. Okay, great. Say, what's going on, Tim? JL, J5, what's up, family? And my crews come through with the 324 and the Mac. And G. Hagan. And Cat Negrita. What's up? Arlene Chambers, Tony D. JD Informant's back again. Jay Deshawn is back. And I got a lot of love for my people, man, across the country. Hard on my sleeves. So look, Dre Johnson. What's up, Dre? What up, Dre? Jermaine Ice Cube. What's up, Dre? What's going on, Dre? Either they don't show, don't know what's going on in the hood. That's like Ice Cube, like early 90s with that voice. What up, Bill Brummer? What's up, man? Phyllis, man, I'm just doing it. Karen, Bellamy, stay with me, y'all. Stay with me. It's the shout out portion of the show because see, people gotta understand. Like Tim Black, why you take so much time? Okay, Tim Black, why do you take so much time shouting people out? Because without them, there would be no show. That's why. This is not a corporate sponsored show. This is a people powered sponsored show. So without my people that support this show, I don't exist on these. I'm not able to do this job. I'll exist. I just won't be doing this. So thank you all for supporting the show. You know where to go. If not, go to patreon.com, Tim's Take Live, become a paying member of the Tim Black Show. Support Black independent media done right, done strong, done real, and for the people. Also, guys, look, tonight's show is sponsored by presidentialimpact.com. That is where you go get my free ebook. It's about presidential power. What a president can do if they really wanted to do it. So that's what people got to understand. When you intend, when you are like, look, this is what I want to accomplish, this is what I seek to do, then a president can find ways. I know it's crazy, right? Because you listen to Jasmine Crockett and, you know, so many others, Roland Martin, so many others. A president is like a scared little child, can't get nothing done without Congress. Oh my God, what would we do? Yeah, presidents are very powerful. They get a lot done. So get my book. Go to presidentialimpact.com, get a free copy. Tonight, folks, if you're on Twitter, if you're on YouTube, or if you're, Twitter or Facebook, I need y'all to come on over to the YouTube side. Come on over to the live stream, hit like. Our goal, as always, is to get at least 500 likes per show. See, if I figured if we get to 500 likes per show, no matter if they like me or not, the algorithm will like me. Okay? So we want the algorithm to know that this is a good show. Even if you disagree with certain aspects of the show, maybe we got a different political philosophy. It doesn't mean I'm a sellout. It doesn't mean that you're a hack. It doesn't mean that you're crazy. It doesn't mean that I'm insane. It means we have a difference of opinion. But what's important is that I'm on the level. We disagree based on our opinions about the political situation. We don't disagree about humanity. We don't disagree about having free speech. We don't disagree with how we communicate. So if you support this show, if you like this show, hit the like button. Let people know, because I think what we're missing in this political conversations that we undergo here is true independent voices. See, I could disagree with you and not have drama with you. I disagree with one of my brothers today. We were on my man Toyin Walker's space on Twitter or X. And I made a comment. A little later, he came in. He made a comment. He disagreed with me. Guess what? I did not even feel a need to address that he disagreed with me. Because you know what? Everybody has disagreements. It happens. I didn't even feel like it was worthy of even like rebutting. Why? I got love for that brother. He got love for me. Just got a difference of opinion about this election. So hit the like button if you can disagree with a person, and it's okay. It don't change the price of tea in China. Okay, we're not disagreeing on the humanity of black people. We ain't disagreeing on that. That's a different thing. But if you disagree about a political point or particular issue, you come up on another side of it. But as long as you respect the sanctity of human life, as long as you respect the fact that I'm trying to move Black America forward, that I'm trying to fight for the working class, the hurting class, that I'm trying to fight for those people that are left out, those people who don't get voices. Because not every person who's going pillar to post or paycheck to paycheck has the means to put up and put down and create a platform that took them 10, 12, 14 years to build on their damn own. So since everybody's not in a position to do that, I respect my platform and respect my point of view to speak for those people the way I choose. We're going to keep doing it. We're going to keep doing it because you know what? We power by the people. So tonight, we're going to address this situation, y'all. Uh-oh. We're going to get into it tonight, y'all, because I got so many points to make tonight. My first point, folks. How to lose an election in 24 days. We got 24 days left before the election, November 5th. And I've been calling this for a while now. But finally it's here, and it cannot be ignored. Everyone was saying, Tim Black, oh, look at Kamala's burning up the charts, baby. I said, you know what? Fool's gold. I said, fool's gold. I saw it with Hillary Clinton. She came in, she was doing well, but what happens is the more you talk, the more people say, hey, she don't know what she's talking about. This lady crazy. That's what happens. The more that Hillary talked, the less she was liked. It got to the point almost where they wanted her to stop campaigning because it made things worse. Kamala Harris and Donald Trump are virtually tied, which means Trump is up. Because with the political climate being as it is, people are reluctant to say they're going to vote for Trump. They get ostracized by their family. They get slammed, dissed from pastors, preachers, friends, parents, even spouses. You realize somebody's sleeping on the couch right now because they had an argument about politics last night and she's still mad. He on the couch right now. Just lonely on the couch, mad, fist balled up. Folks, all I can tell you is we ain't got that much longer left. And what I can also tell you is that I was right.
That is what we call a dead. The big headline, this is a national head-to-head poll, is that Vice President Kamala Harris had a 5-point lead in our last poll taken a month ago, right after the debate. That lead has all but evaporated, Willie. Take a look at this new head-to-head matchup, 48% to 48%. That is what we call a deadlocked race. It underscores what we all know, that this is tight, that the country is sharply divided. One of the other big headlines here, people are viewing the Trump presidency more favorably than the Biden presidency. Why is that significant? We've seen the vice president get pressed repeatedly on what she would do differently than President Biden, and she's really struggled with that answer. The big headline.
Yeah. She struggled with that answer because she doesn't have one that she can safely submit. Because if Kamala Harris were to come out and say, hey, well, I disagree with Biden on this, well, of course, there would be a follow-up by any journalist worth their salt. They would say, well, why do you disagree with that? And what would you have done differently? And then all of a sudden, a candidate is built on a house of pickle juice and toothpicks, has to come up with a philosophy and stand on it. She got to stand on like one of them sumos. And she ain't prepared to do that because she doesn't really have a political philosophy worth standing on. What she has is a career built on expediency. But be that as it may, we are here, folks. We're at the tied game. This thing is knotted up. And I know, it's going to only get tighter.
Harris are on the campaign trail almost daily now.
We have some hard work ahead of us, but we like hard work.
This is a new NBC News national poll of registered voters shows the presidential contest deadlocked at 48%. The poll shedding light on the gender gap between the candidates, Harris ahead with women by 14 points and more men supporting Trump by 16 points. The vice president in battleground North Carolina, speaking from the pulpit of a black church in Greenville, launching a new black voter initiative, Souls to the Polls.
At an early age, I learned that faith is a verb. It is something we show in action and in service.
Later at her rally, laying out her agenda and challenging her Republican opponent.
I do believe Donald Trump is an unserious man, but the effects of him being back in the White House would be brutally serious.
Trump in Arizona tonight after rallying in California on Saturday. The candidates also drawing attention to their medical records, with Harris's doctor on Saturday saying she's in excellent health and has the, quote, physical and mental resiliency to be president. Harris has criticized Trump for not releasing detailed medical assessments, his campaign responding with his doctor's letter from last year and saying he's in perfect health.
Aaron is joining us now from Greenville. Aaron, with polling showing Mr. Trump making inroads with black men, the Harris campaign is planning its own push with this key constituency, right?
Right, Hallie. The vice president heads to Detroit on Tuesday for a radio town hall that we're told is specifically targeting black men. That's before she goes back to Atlanta on Saturday.
Yeah. And now they want to focus on health of all things. All of a sudden now, Kamala Harris wants to focus on the health of a presidential candidate. Meanwhile, no one wants to talk about the actual health of the actual president. One health that she tried to hide and successfully hid for the last 3.5 years. But now all of a sudden, everybody's got questions. They got slick things they want to say about Trump's age. Well, before they were oblivious to age, they had, a cavalier attitude towards the aging process. It's kind of funny that way. But all of that is a distraction from the reality, folks, and the reality is firmly against Kamala Harris's campaign. Folks, I don't know a better way to put this. Matter of fact, I don't have to. You ain't got to listen to Tim Black's words on this. Listen to the poster guy tell you really what's going on there. Just remember, there were some of us who were calling this 6 months ago. I'm one of those guys. Check this out.
Is this at this particular hour, if you believe the polling, Donald Trump's going to put up the bottom line is this. At this particular hour, if you believe the polling, Donald Trump's going to put up the best performance with black voters since Richard Nixon back in 1960. Not 68, since 1960. That's 64 years ago. Among Hispanic voters, Donald Trump's going to put up the best performance for Republicans since 2004 and George W. Bush.
That's all that needs to be said. That, my friends, is what you call case closed, face closed. The numbers are telling you the truth of what the people think. It doesn't really matter what pundits think. It doesn't matter what the chattering class, paid consultants, the people that rush around jumping from campaign to campaign trying to make a buck. Nah, what matters is what voters think, man. And what voters think is they're not impressed with Kamala Harris. They weren't impressed with Joe Biden. They're less impressed with Kamala Harris. It's going to turn out to be, as I stated, almost a 30 points. I say that Trump gets about 30 points. Now, I had dwindled that to 20. I'm going to shoot for 30 now. I'm going back up to 30 because I believe that what Obama did, I believe that Obama's actions did nothing but rile up a number of resentments towards the Democratic Party. In fact, what Obama did when he chastised black men about not voting for Kamala Harris, when he accused us of being women haters, even though we voted a lot more for Hillary, even though we voted for, it's only been a couple women running, isn't it, right? No one says that about Sarah Palin. No one accused black men of being. It's only when it comes to Democrats, but be that as it may. The point is, What Biden did, or what Obama did, is they rubbed the bottle and the genie popped out, and the genie was angry. And now they're in a situation where they've ticked off more people. Sometimes you could do something and you say, well, I got to try something. And what you try put you in a worse position than where you already were. I've done it just trying to fix a pipe. I'm up there trying to fix the damn thing on the bathtub sink, trying to take it off. It's stuck. It needs to be fixed. And my wrench slipped. And what happens? I hit the damn lid of the toilet seat thing. The thing that goes on the back of the tank? That thing broke so easily. I'm like, what the hell's going on? I went from a $5 problem to a $50 problem, all because of the tool I use. Same thing goes for Obama. The tool he used was battering black men. And what does he get for it? He gets a cracked toilet tub. No, he gets a cracked constituency. He gets a cracked, more fractured black voting base. Now he got brothers going, forget you, Obama. Now they're not only disliking Kamala and her policies and what she stands for, her rhetoric and her nonsense and her background and all these other things, but now they also they've got a problem with the tone. And you can tell Obama's been in a bubble, because one thing you learn growing up as a black man in America is black men put a premium on respect. I'm sorry. Black men place a premium on respect. That's the culture of black men. Obama knows nothing about this because Obama did not grow up as a black man within black communities surrounded by black working class folks, and had to go to school and watch their language, or get slapped in the face for talking slick out the mouth, or see somebody else slapped in the mouth, or punched in the jaw, or kicked with some super Tims. How many black men have been in these situations? Has Obama ever been to a club and seen a brother get stomped out for stepping on the wrong brother's shoes? See, this is a long-running thing. How can a black man not understand the importance of respecting brothers? The premium that black men put on black men for respect, eye contact. So that goes to show that he was never, ever one of us. Because this is like Rule 101. This is basics. I mean, if you don't understand this as a black man, how the hell you get to be 60 years old as a black man in America? So when they're telling us all this stuff about who Kamala is, who Obama is, and how black they are and all this stuff, man, we can argue till the cows come home. We ain't got to win that argument. Time wins that argument. It's the proofs in the pudding. A black man that's been around black men his whole life, that knows, and I'm talking about working class black folks, knows what you do not want to do is disrespect black men and then expect them to do something for you. Man, dissing black men to the point that Obama did and expecting a great outcome, that's as likely as Kevin Hart playing Chicken Man in Fight Night and actually pulling it off. In real talk, Kevin Hart was believable in that position. I had no idea he could be a dramatic role player. He was even better in this than he was in the other thing with Wesley Snipes. Yeah. I digress. What I'm trying to say is very unlikely that it would be successful. What Obama did would be successful. He couldn't thread the needle. Speaking of that, let's cut to a tape. Let's cut to this. Here goes Abby Phillip, the CNN panel. Man, I'm having a good time going to Abby Phillip, guys. Before we go to the Abby Phillip clip, though, one second. Do me a favor, hit the like button. I got to remind you, hit the like button. Also got to remind you that becoming a premium member of the Tim Black Show is an important aspect of this show. Join us. Join us here on YouTube and join us at patreon.com, Tim's Take Live. Look, we don't get to speak these truths without the power of the platform. Support the platform, you support the message, you support yourselves, because that's what we're doing here. All right, Abby Phillips panel, great panel. Let's see what you think. Let's watch this together. It's about Obama, it's about the men issue. And folks, this is why I say Kamala's catastrophic collapse happened.
He's objectively a top 15 president.
Is Obama in the wrong here with how he's talking about black men in particular and singling them out in this way?
Yeah, let's start from here. He is still the greatest living retail politician. He's objectively a top 15 president, but even he can swing and miss sometimes. And here he swung and missed. Here's what he did. Harris has been very strategic about when and how she's spoken about gender and race. And he stepped on that. And when she hasn't spoken about it, he stepped on that message. And I think also with those comments, and there's more to this, but let me just start with this, is that he forgets, at least in that moment, that she doesn't get the benefit of being a historic first the way he did. She's a historic first woman if she wins.
Maybe that's part of the problem, that's what he's saying.
And
Why doesn't she get the benefit?
Yeah.
Well, she doesn't get the benefit, Abby, because black is black is black. And you guys have said she's black. Now, she could have been a historic first if you wanted to lean into her Indian descent or her Asian descent, but nobody wanted to do that. Everyone saw more political capital in saying she's black. Okay, fine. Sans Candace Owens investigative reporting. Fine. Say what you want to be. I still think I'll take Rachel Dolezal over Kamala Harris. She showed more commitment. Changed the name. But no. I don't need to preface this and give Obama any types of props whatsoever. Folks. But when CNN is throwing Obama under the bus, I mean, even if it's not an all-out throw, it is a nudge to the small of the back. That's when you know you done. Like Bill Duke put it in Minister Society, you done messed up. You done messed up now, bro. You done messed up.
First of all, we have to remember that this is a thing, like Barack Obama has a history of kind of chastising specifically black men. And like the question is whether what he said is relevant, right? Because there are a few black men, like there are a few white men who are more conservative than black women, and more white men are conservative than white women. But the point is, does this work, right? And there's no evidence that it's true or that it works. And he doesn't do that with, like, you've never heard him say, why don't you white women stop being racist and vote for me or Kamala Harris, or they don't talk to Hispanic voters or LGBTQ voters. It's only specifically black men that he takes this tact that doesn't work.
Why do you think that is?
Because you know why.
No,
because
tell me.
Because Michael want to work in this big town, he don't want to say it. I tell you, because you cannot go calling out white people for how they vote, because white people have agency. See, white people they're not going to play a subservient role in this equation. They're not going to allow you to badger them into say they're going to say, hey, I'm an American citizen, I get to choose the way I vote. And where I vote is predicated on how I feel about the candidate. So they are free. White people have never been slaves and been under that type of pressure where they cannot choose a president. Folks, you can say what you want to say, but being black, we, over the last 60, 70 years, is a certain amount of social pressure for us to vote one way. Now, there may be some pressures that Republicans feel towards the establishment, and I've heard this about universities and what have you. Not even just white people. I saw a rant by a soccer in whatever. Upset about the white girls that wouldn't give them any play because the BLM movement was at its heights. and everyone was anti-conservative. But I digress. The point is, yes, Michael Harriot, who I usually don't agree, but he has a very excellent point. And we've said it on this show. I wonder if Michael's a listener behind the scenes. Is he trolling with an invisible account? Michael, you cannot call out white people for how they vote, because you should not be able to call anyone out for the way they vote, because that is something relegated only to the blacks, particularly the blacks, of the black male blacks, I should say. We're the only group that gets this type of treatment. Call us lucky.
The second most loyal, the most progressive group of men on the planet, they don't care about. They assume that they have their vote and nothing.
I'm sorry, man. I got to stop it. I don't want to do it, man, but I got to tell you, man, my stomach, man. I'm about to turn it to the first live stream to just throw up on the. I hate to do it. I'm holding back, man. He said we the second most loyal. These polls ain't loyal. Polls, as in politicians. These politicians ain't loyal. How is that something to brag about? We the second most loyal. Oh, God. This was my point from earlier today that some people disagree with me. I'm like, that's nothing to be proud of. Now, you can say I'm the second most loyal son. But that's your mother. You came out of uterus. She provided for you, hopefully nurtured you, raised you, bathed you, did everything for you, loved you, all these things. You know, tended to you when you were sick, rubbed your head when you needed affirmation, love, a safe place, kept you warm. Your very life, your very existence is in part thanks to her, okay? That's a whole different thing. Can you imagine having the thought in your head that you should be loyal to a party? A political party that is loyal first to its corporate sponsors and its donors. Now, this is not the talk of any other group except black men. And even Michael Harriot, who was right at first, careens into this BS. I can only think of my man Paul Mooney, man. May he rest in peace. The black man, the old faithful hound dog at the ankle of Massa. Right there, just right, good old sassy. There he is. Right where I need him to be. You can kick the dog, mistreat the dog, yell at him, curse him. And in 10 minutes, he forgot all about it. And he's right back in this spot between your foot and the leg of the chair. Friends, that's a sad narrative, isn't it? Why would men embrace this? Folks, if there is a pushback coming, and I do believe it is, if there is a concerted push of black men against the Democratic Party, it's because of this mentality. Young black men are not accepting this, and they shouldn't. No people should. White men shouldn't accept it. Latino men shouldn't accept it. Asian men shouldn't accept it. Indigenous men should not accept it, of all colors, creeds. No, the man better. It pains me for that brother to say that. We the second most loyal. I opened up my mailbox today. I didn't get my second most loyal paycheck. Check my stocks, bonds. If I had them, I guess I would be able to. I checked my crypto wallet. No second most loyal crypto deposits. I asked Mrs. Black, did we get our second most loyal bank dividend transfer? Shameful. How can we be taken seriously with this type of rhetoric coming out of the mouths of those who are considered leaders and people with huge platforms? How can we? How? Let's keep going, Johnson. Maybe we'll find light at the end of the tunnel. Maybe I'm being hyperbolic. Maybe I'm going over the top. Maybe I'm tripping.
They don't have to do anything for it. And the point of this is that if you don't vote for Kamala Harris and you're a black man, something must be wrong with you. That is the subtext of everything that they're saying.
Well, this is what I would say to this, because I was there when the NABJ interviewed Kamala Harris in Philadelphia, and what Kamala Harris said then was that you asked that question with the assumption that black men are in somebody's pocket. You can't make that assumption. Black men are just like any other group. They have their interests, and I'm working to get their vote. I don't expect to get it because I am black. I am working to get their vote. And that is what she said. And so I think we have to focus on what she said about black men. And I think we also have to focus on...
What? Is Solomon Jones distancing himself from Obama? Did Solomon Jones just distance himself from Obama? Also, I think that Michael Hurriet agrees with me. Actually, I think he's stating that in the third person. These are not his thoughts. He was lamenting about how the Democratic Party sees black men. That's how he sees black men. My respect, bro. My respect. I jumped the gun. It's not you. It's the system. It's the Democrats who see us as the lowly puppy dog. My bad. But this guy, Solomon, I can't believe this brother just said that. Did he say what I think he's saying? He said, let's distance ourselves from Barack. We need to focus on this stuff that Kamala said, who I don't believe for a second at all, because she got, meanwhile, got surrogates that are paid running out making the same claims as Obama. At least before Obama shat the bed. Obama just amped it up. But already her good friends, Dale Hughley, Ricky Smiley, Steve Harvey, were all saying the same thing Obama said, although less refined. They were saying the same thing.
The fact that most black men are going to vote for Kamala Harris anyway. That is the reality. But I think that in talking to black people every day, which I do as a radio host, I've heard some black men say, I'm not voting for her because she is a woman. I have heard that. And I think that is reprehensible. I got to be honest.
Okay, so he's heard it. I mean, are we... when I say we, I mean the collective we as the country, afraid to just talk about a thing?
I think
is
you can
Obama
talk
saying,
about it, but if
he
he's
calling
summon
a thing
Barack Obama to fix a problem, you have to wonder if this fixes a problem. If I am interested in getting Kamala Harris elected, then I am upset because he hurt the thing, the strategy that she was employing to win.
Well, I think part of what has to happen, though, is that you have to have that conversation in private. There are some things you talk about in the barbershop when there's no cameras, right? There's some things that you talk about at home. There's some things that are family business, and I think the mistake that Barack Obama made was to take family business in the street.
I didn't have a problem.
Let me let Coleman in there.
Shaming voters is a terrible idea. It was bad when Hillary Clinton did it with deplorables. It was bad when Mitt Romney did it on the eve of the election. Even if there's a grain of truth to it and there's the occasional radio caller that's going to admit to that sentiment, let's actually look at the fact that Biden was struggling with black voters, and that was a topic of conversation over and over again. So it's not about sexism.
Hold on one second. Let me take a look at this.
Man, there's going to be all types of reasons why someone won't vote for someone. It'll be all types of reasons why someone doesn't like spaghetti or lasagna or whatever it is. It doesn't matter. There's going to be people that don't vote for you because you're a woman, or people that won't vote for you because you are a woman of color, and other people that won't vote for you because you're from California, or people won't vote for you because they heard your type of music is not the type of music that they prefer, or what have you. There is a long list of things. Some people wouldn't vote for Mitt Romney because he was a former Mormon or a Mormon. Then someone vote for him because he was white, and someone vote for him because he was left-handed or right-handed, or Leo, a Capricorn, on the cusp of whatever, Sagittarius. I don't know. I have no idea. But at the end of the day, when you have $1 billion, $1 billion, you can't go stir up votes, rabble votes, entice votes, reach people, touch them, influence them, get them to vote for you. You gotta start looking at the messenger, the person in the arena. You gotta start looking at them. You gotta look at what you're working with. Come on. You should be able to get a number of people to do pretty much anything, when you can shape the narrative, when you got 9/10, Kamala Harris has 9/10 of the political machinery at her beck and call. All of them were puff pieces, CBS, ABC. There were studies out there done. Media Research Incorporation. Media Research Corp had a poll going where they looked at CBS and ABC, and they determined that like 93% of their coverage of Kamala Harris was positive, and like 89% of Trump's was negative. How do you snag failure in a climate where 90% of your coverage has been positive? If we're going to point to the fact she's a woman, that's not mitigated by the fact she got 90% positive coverage, over 90% positive coverage, and her counterpart, her challenger, or the other side of the ball, is getting 90% or so negative coverage. How can you then bring up, was she a woman so, or she black so? What? I just told you. Well, if Mike Tyson gets in the ring and the other guy gets to throw 90% of the punches, and he has to put his hands behind his back and take him in the face, and Mike's still standing, somebody ain't got a good right hand. Either someone's chin is Teflon, titanium, triple D, or somebody's arm is made of ramen noodles. It's got to be one or the other, man. It's got. You don't tell me what, but the guy, I mean Tyson, the guy is Lithuanian. He had 90% of the punches that he threw, uncontested. Talking directly to the audience, to the judges. I don't want to hear it, man. These are excuses, folks. These are excuses that aren't panning out. Now, man, don't tell me that there's always a reason to discriminate. There's always a reason to discriminate. And there's always going to be things that people don't like you for. All you can do, and as a black woman, if that's what Kamala is, isn't she already conditioned to the reality that if you're black, you got to work so hard? So what are we even talking about? I thought it came with the gig. So Obama, in a moment in time, in a campaign office in Pennsylvania, he's going to utter these words that's going to change the reality of life? Or is he just, as Michael Hurrier pointed out, being ineffective? Because nothing even Obama says will change the psyches of Americans at the bottom of the ninth or the 12th or the ninth inning. What's going to happen? Fourth quarter, 24 seconds left on the clock. And this guy wants to holler at the refs. How about talking to the people in the ring? How about talking to your player? How about you taking your player in the back, coach, and talking to her? I question if Obama even wants her to win. I know he didn't want her to run. Maybe he didn't really want her to win either. Just a thought.
Let's take a look at the numbers, because I think just to see what we're talking about here, there's been a progressive decline in overall support among black men and, to a lesser degree, black women for the Democratic nominee. Biden was doing better among black men than Harris appears to be right now, based on some of the better polling that looks at these demographics. So I guess the other part of this is, you're talking about keep the business private. You're saying he's messing up the strategy, but the numbers are the numbers. And he's trying to fix a numerical problem that she has, a math problem that she has.
Right. I agree with most of what you were saying, Solomon. I don't think the problem is that he spoke it out loud. I think the problem is that he singled out black men. In other words, there is a sexism component to this race. There was a sexism component to the Hillary Clinton-Donald Trump race. Right, if Trump wins, he will have only ever beaten women. I can't give you a number, but sexism is in the mix here. But it's not black men specifically. I think it's men, not black men. And that, I think, is part of where Obama went wrong.
Well, sorry, guys. The world is made up of men as well. Yeah, I'm sorry, Zach, I'm sorry. America has men in it. It got men in it somehow. Yeah, they do. And hopefully that doesn't change, because I'm one of those guys that's a man. Yeah. And inconvenient truth. If you want to be president, you got to get men and women to vote for you. No way around that portion of it. Guys, what do you think about this? What's your thoughts about that segment? I don't know. At the end of the day, Obama chastising black voters, black men particularly. Is that a win, a net win, or a net decline? Is it helpful or not? 0 to 1. Does it help? No. If it doesn't help, give me a 0. If it helped, give it a 1. I'd have to say 0 based on everything I've seen. I don't see how it helped. I'd like to now let's focus on this week, guys. Let's focus on the week because let's clean house a little bit here. I'll just play this. Now, this is from a person on TikTok. Just to lighten the mood just a little bit. Let's lighten the mood just a little bit. Obama coming out, going after the black men because, well, Kamala has created, this air of paranoia that the other shoe will drop. Here goes at Nakia Dion on TikTok with a dramatic piece just for that.
Once they figure out, oh my God, you guys, once they figure out that it's not just the black male vote, oh my God, you guys, I'm hiding because once they figure out that it's not just the black male vote, but also us black females who ain't voting for Kamala in record numbers like black people usually vote for Democrats in record numbers. Oh my God, y'all, once they figure it out, they gonna send Michelle. They gonna send Michelle after us. Oh my God, you guys. I gotta find a better hiding place.
I don't know. Does that go too far? I don't know. Are they gonna send Michelle out? Obama did threaten that. He did threaten that in his conversation. His speech and soliloquy to the brothers there in the room. All those young black men he had in the room that were afraid to challenge him, and I get it. Right? Maybe they wanted to keep their job on the staff of Kamala. I get it. But he did say, "Oh, you guys lucky. You're lucky Michelle don't come out here and talk to you. You're lucky it's me." That's what he said. Talk about not having any, gosh, guys, where's your pride? You don't want Michelle to talk to you. I tell you, man, it's that finger wagging BS, boy. That finger wagging BS. So let's go to this, guys. I want us to take a look, and let's take a closer look at the week. This catastrophic week of chaos that the Kamala Harris campaign has had, folks. My name is Tim Black. If you're new to the show, we cover U.S. politics. But I meant to say this at the top of the show. Let's give our condolences to the family and friends of Wanda Smith. Wanda Smith is a comedian, a radio host there in Atlanta. She had been at this job, a very popular radio host in Atlanta for the last 20-something years. She passed away, I think, unexpectedly, just a couple days ago. And I didn't know much about her, but I could tell you the outcries, I guess some of the publicity, some of the commentary surrounding her passing was very troubling to me, man, because she passed away. And then I heard people remarking about this run-in she had with Cat Williams, and they kind of made it all about that. They boiled down a woman's career to a moment on the radio with Cat Williams. And that's not any way anyone would want to be remembered. No one wants to be remembered for that one time. You got 20 years of footage, of interactions, of moments, and people boil you down to a snapshot. And I just think it's sad. And I just want to take a few seconds just to say my condolences to the family. And I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. I don't know how you feel about that. I didn't know Wanda Smith, but we're in an age now where you can be boiled down to a millisecond, a minute, 10 minutes, 20 minutes out of a complete full show. It happens to me all the time. Somebody will take one thing I said out of a 2-hour show, but I'm the only one talking, and zero in on that one point, not giving context. Anyway, my condolences to the family of Wanda Smith. May she rest in peace. All right. Gosh, hey, not to give the ending away, but there are signs that Kamala Harris's campaign that is careening down the cliff right now. Things are not looking good. Things are going badly. This week is a foreshadowing, I believe, of only what's to come, which is not going to be good things. Hey, Power Book Ghost 2 may have been a show, but at the end, I don't think Kamala Harris's campaign will be much better off than Mary J. Blige's demise. Listen to this, guys, as we go. This is the terrible week. And this is a perfect distilling of that. Check this out. This is CNN.
This campaign. You had Gretchen.
Now it's because the race is going to be close.
She had a terrible week. It was a terrible week for the Harris this campaign. You had Gretchen Whitmer having to apologize to Catholics across America for mocking them with some bizarro Dorito thing on there. You had Governor Elmer Fudd out hunting and not knowing how to load his shotgun, using the wrong gun. At the same time,
Who's Governor Elmer Fudd?
Governor Walz was out there. It looked like Elmer Fudd. You know, be very, very quiet while hunting for rabbits.
Oh my God.
Right? So he can't load his shotgun. He's trying to appeal to hunters. He can't load the gun. He's using the wrong gun. At the same time, you have Barack Obama in Pennsylvania where he derided people who own guns. Remember, people in Pennsylvania were bitter and they clinged to guns and religion. Remember that in 2008? So they're trying to appeal to those folks at the same time while he alienates black male voters by chastising them. So they had a really tough week this week.
Well, hold on. Okay, so first of all, Kamala Harris released her medical records. Trump hasn't. That was this week.
But that's your top thing?
Let's talk about his week. Okay, he goes to Detroit and insults an entire city and insults a lot of black people there. His economic plan comes out, and by outside economic analysis, they said it would raise costs and raise debt on the American people. So Trump didn't really have a great week either. I think many times he goes out there. I'm sorry,
if your
guys.
medical records, if that's the high point of your week, you're really grasping at
what
straws.
does he have to hide?
You're grasping
Second of
at straws.
You're grasping at straws. Does anyone? First of all, does anyone?
I don't think anybody cares about that. I really don't think the medical records is going to sway the court at all. They know Trump is old, and unless he has an impending health crisis, then it's like, okay. Because he does not present in such a way that Biden did. So I don't think that's going to be an issue. In fact, looking at the numbers, you might have been better off staying with Biden, but that be it as it may, that's water under the bridge. It does seem flimsy a rebuttal to say, hey, but Kamala gave us her medical records. No one asked her for them. Who asked her for those? That's the Kamala Harris campaign trying to change the narrative. See, right now, she's stinking up the place. And throw something against the wall, man. Anything we can throw against the wall to change the narrative, let's do that. And that's what a friendly media. That's what most media covering her still favorably, though they are taking a turn in the most recently. But that's only the last couple of days.
Remember that Barack Obama said that in 2008, and two,
people in Pennsylvania.
Oh yeah,
I promise you.
Barack Obama won Pennsylvania in 2008 and 2012.
In 2012, he lost the state.
He won.
Let me get started.
Yeah.
I don't think, if I were in your party, with all due respect, I wouldn't want to be arguing about the hiding of medical conditions and medical records, given who the current president of the United States is.
What about your nominee?
That's number one. Let me finish. You got the Scott. Number two, I think the polling this morning and the week, I think David's right. It was a rough week. I mean, her faves are down. They're struggling with, the front page of the New York Times this morning, front page story, Democrats struggling with African-American voters, particularly African-American men. This gender gap issue is real. It's a real problem, and you see the Democrats reacting to it. And I think what they are now finally in October, the election, coming to realize is that A lot of men think Democrats care more about dudes who want to become women than dudes who just want to be dudes.
Well,
and no hunting, cosplay, or cringy videos is going to change it. The bet is made.
along with the gender gap,
Perfect timing. It's perfect timing. So that's the downside of my downsides of my mic change. So, yeah. Scott Jennings is a thorn in the side of the Democratic Party, isn't he, man? That guy, man, he keeps on batting, hitting the ball out the park. So what can be done about this? What's the situation like for the Democratic Party at this point? I don't know if they, like I stated, man. This is just my point of view. I'm not even sure they expect her to win. But how can you win under these conditions? And when under those conditions, I gotta say, it's her being at the top of the ticket. And don't get me twisted, I don't think Walz should be at the top of the ticket. I think it would have been better off for the Democratic Party to roll the dice and have someone win this thing. And for them to be able to run based on a primary event or some type of picking of a person who was strongest. Because it ain't Kamala. To Scott's point, man, I just don't see it getting done, man. I just don't see it happening.
right now, it's because the race is going to be close.
She had a terrible week.
Number two, I think the polling this morning and the week, I think David's right. It was a rough week. I mean, her faves are down. They're struggling with, the front page of the New York Times this morning, front page story. Democrats struggling with African-American voters, particularly African-American men.
If, like I stated, guys, if you're struggling with black men at this point in the game, and you're a Democrat, that's got to be hard. But we saw the stats. She's doing worse with black men than Biden did, and it just doesn't look good. She's doing worse with black men than Hillary was doing. I don't know what else to say. Other than also what they're not factoring in, guys, and I think this is important to consider, maybe, just maybe, black people are getting tired of the Democrats altogether. Maybe we're getting to a point where it's a cumulative effect of the same old, same old. And I think that has a large part to do with it, that at some point, people say enough's enough. And I think that's been an ongoing process over the years. I saw it climbing and climbing. It started in 2012. So them using Obama, right? So the Democratic Party had Obama. They ran Obama in 2008. And that took a certain amount of, it used up a certain amount of currency for people to say, okay, they're going to put their hopes and dreams and beliefs into this Obama guy. And Obama came out there and he won the presidency. And what did he do for Black America? Next to nothing. Instead, he chastised us for even asking him, what are you going to do for Black America? Not only did he not do anything, he just said, put on shoes, take off the bedroom slippers, do this, do that, pull up your pants, Pookie, and all this other nonsense. Meanwhile, he was doing stuff for other groups with a smile. He made doing stuff for them an experiment, an experience, an event. And he left chastising us as a footnote, as a joke. And unless you were in the political pundit class of making money by going on these platforms and working for these Democratic machinery, right? If you were a regular person, you didn't look at it and laugh. If you were a person who had pride, you didn't look at it and laugh and say, oh, it's okay. Now, you weren't in the excuse-making business. Your salary and your money was not tied to ignoring Obama's BS disrespect to the Black community. But be it as it may, you move on to 2012, and it's even confounded. It's compounded now because now it's his second opportunity, his second bite at the apple. And instead of saying, hey, I'm out of here in 4 years, I can't run again, now I'm going to go get all this stuff done. And what does he do? Nothing. He goes to one prison and walks around for 5 minutes and goes home. How can you have Donald Trump do more to let out prisoners in a crooked system than Obama? That's the legacy of Obama. What I'm saying is, once that happened, I feel that it changed the psyche of Black America. Black men, for a large degree, Black women to a smaller degree, but yeah, I think it had an impact on Black women too. And I think that's been compounding over the election cycles. 2016, look, that's what happened. Black folks got tired. And then you had Trump saying the quiet parts out loud about the Democratic Party, things that we all can agree on about the corruption of the Democratic Party and the Republican Party. Remember, Trump didn't just call out Democrats, he called out Republicans as well. People have a short memory. It was Republicans he was roasting during the entire primaries. Meanwhile, Black people are watching all this unfold, and I'm telling you, the waves of dissatisfaction were sweeping up on the beach of Black America's voters, and slowly it was eroding the beach. It was eroding the support for the Democratic Party. Folks, we are at where we are in 2024, not just because Kamala is a melanated Indian, Black, Jamaican, whatever she is, woman, person with a uterus, birthing person, whatever y'all call it. Not the fact she's a woman of color. There she is, but we are where we are number-wise, folks, not just because of that, any of that liberal slang or speak that they want to label it. We're also at this point, them numbers look like shit because the Democrats are shit. And Black people are tired of this shit. And it took time. It's going to continue to keep on eroding and eroding and eroding and eroding. And I'm here for it because I believe Black Americans, just like white Americans, Latino Americans, Asian Americans, Native American Americans, all Americans should get something for their vote. They should demand it. They should stand on it. The problem with the Black community is we got Black community members who are influential in movers and shakers and influencers who are what? Who are willing to side with the establishment over the people and influence the masses of people who don't take time to know what's going on. But that's slowly changing with the advent of social media, which are catapulting people like Tim Black and others so that they can be influential. It takes some of the power away from the mouthpieces of a Jesse Jackson, of an Al Sharpton, of a Jim Clyburn. Those types of people, their opinions are mattering less and less and less and less. And at least now we can rebut them. Before, could we really? Look at the prices, like a brother Tavis Smiley or Dr. Cornel West paid just for dissenting with Obama as he dropped bombs on Iraqis, killing anywhere from 500,000 to 1 million Iraqis over a BS war that continued. It is what it is. That garbage in the Middle East. The spending of all that money dropping bombs until Obama ran out of bombs. We got here not overnight. So when they're judging Kamala's position, they are just looking at it through a very small lens. And I'm saying just back away or either pull out with the wide lens and see the whole field. This did not happen overnight. If you want to just blame a thing and point to that thing, fine. But just like anything else, if you're 40 pounds overweight today, you didn't get there today. You got there, I don't know what was you doing 2 years ago? And if you got muscles and you're in good shape, you didn't just happen today. How'd you get there? Getting up, not eating this, not doing that, doing these things. It's through practices. It's through things that were done over time that put you where you are. And the Democrats are failing, and I'm telling you, they're not failing. They're smart enough to know this. I'm not telling you guys anything you don't know. I'm not telling you anything they don't know. Not anything they don't know. But you can't play the blame game. You can't use Black people as far to the blame if you have a guy like Tim Black throwing in logic, throwing in very basic reasoning. Kamala sucks, but the Democratic Party sucks more. Congress sucks. It's got like what? What was the approval rating of Congress? 7%? mean, things are getting so bad for the Democratic Party, they're starting to spin out of control. The spin has done spun so wildly that the top just went crazy. Here goes a little clip I like to call Crockett that lost a sprocket.
Trump said. He said that we've got these cities and these towns that are being overrun by gangs and the crime out of control. I absolutely agree with that. And guess what? It's the MAGA gang. It is the white supremacists that have decided to descend upon places such as Springfield, Ohio. So I agree with him. I just disagree with who the problems are. The problems are him and his minions. The problems aren't the people that have come to make our economy stronger, the people that have actually been able to.
See, this is the type of rhetoric I'm talking about. You say Tim Black is because Kamala is a woman, because she's brown skinned or people, whatever. This is the problem. Nah, man, that's not the problem. This is an official surrogate of the Kamala Harris campaign. And she just said in front of a bunch of people, in front of the entire world, that the problems in the inner city or a problem in a particular city or town that's experiencing an increased level of gang activity is MAGA. Now, you may not like MAGA. You may disagree with the hats. You may disagree with Trump's rhetoric or disagree with a number of things related to the campaigning of the MAGA. But you can't say that that is the cause of violence in the community. And it's this type of thinking because I'm telling you, this is not about working class people anymore. The Kamala Harris campaign is not in touch with what working class people are on. See, this type of Democrat Republican nonsense is not what regular people think about when they're thinking about their safety or what's going on in their lives or in their communities. They're looking at, if you live in an area where there's too much of anything that's affecting your life, if your car's been broken in 3 times, when I lived in Forestville, Maryland, my truck had been broken in 3 times. I wasn't looking for Republicans or Democrats. I was wondering who the hell was the thieves breaking in my damn truck. And that's what normal people do. But the political operatives spin everything into a political sphere to the point where they would blame a political faction for crime in an area that had crime possibly, or I'm pretty sure, before you even knew what their political faction was. It makes no sense. But they just throw anything against the wall to try to score a political point. And it only works if you have no idea what's going on in the ground, if you have no idea what real people are going through. And it's acts like speaking, it's like going to a community and speaking a weird alien dialect. And the people are looking at you like, what is this woman even talking about? They look at her and they respect her hair. They go, I know a sister like that. Representative Crockett reminds us of Black women that we grew up with, and some of that are even in our families. But when she starts talking, when she desperately starts flailing around to try to help Kamala by any means necessary, she starts to look like a damn fool. This is foolishness. And worse than that, it doesn't speak to the issues that matter to the people. And this doesn't help Kamala Harris. It hurts her because it just shows how much more out of touch her and the campaign surrogates are to really what's going on. But let's let her finish, guys, because she ain't done making things worse.
Problems are him and his minions. The problems aren't the people that have come to make our economy stronger.
Does anybody believe they're migrants? Regardless of what your opinion is, does anybody think that there's a single migrant that crossed the border that said, legally or illegally, said, I'm going here to help America? What is she even talking about, man? Is that a thought in the head of any person that would go through the trek across the southern border, over razor wire, with sharks or with people smuggling people, whatever catastrophic crap whatever, dehumanizing, arduous travel, whatever, to get to America, legally or illegally, whatever. You think that that was the thought in their head, that they were coming here to make America stronger and to help our economy. And do you think a person with any common sense, well, not common sense, she's a lawyer, she's got common sense. She's got degrees. I don't want to say she has no common sense. But she's obviously a person with an agenda. Sounds like a scam artist. Crockett is a scam artist. She brew a sprocket. How could she not? How else can you describe this?
The people that have actually been able to help to continue to make sure that we got out of the big hole that he put us in.
What the hell is that? Folks, I think Kamala Harris she's contagious. In her demented word salad, rhetoric of nothingness and oblivious, superficial nonsense, the stuff that spews out of her mouth that makes no sense at all, that does not speak to any needs of regular people. I think that Jasmine Crockett has acquired this disease. It has infected her nervous system. It is now presenting itself out of her face. I will repeat what she said, but let's let her do it. I don't know if I have the capability to say this.
Actually been able to help aren't the people that have come to make our economy stronger, the people that have actually been able to help to continue to make sure that we got out of the big hole that he put us in after COVID-19 with his ineptness. Like, yeah, I agree that there are problems in our communities, but usually it's some white supremacists on the other side, and he has yet to call them out. As it relates to him being a liar, I mean, that's
If this is all the Democrats have, if this is all they have, if this is their big tool to fight back against MAGA, folks, I was at 90-10. Now I'm at 90-5, 95-5. You always got to leave 5% chance. I mean, they got to turn this around. Kamala Harris has to turn this around quickly because this is careening out of control. Listening to Crockett with these talking points, this is a lawyer who's a shining star of the Democratic machinery, and this is the best she could do. She's saying that what's plaguing our communities is a white supremacist. No, man, it's lack of money and investment, opportunity, gentrification, homelessness, poverty. These are things. Drugs, fentanyl, border. No, know what I'm talking about? All these things are contributing to it. And it's a lack of good paying jobs, not just jobs. That damn Uber, Lyft, Instacart, those are not jobs that can build a family with. It's the cost of goods and services, rent, the mortgage, it's the bills, it's all those things falling in, caving in on people's lives. And it's worse the upside. It's once upon a time you could learn a trade and take care of one person could work and the mom could stay home if she wanted to, and they could raise the kids and we could have a house. And that doesn't exist. We got millennials who can't do that with both parents working. That's the reality. And that's in blaming MAGA or blaming white supremacist person on the other side of that. Yeah, it's just not enough. It doesn't, look, even if you say that that's a problem, that doesn't fix the problem, because the problem are all the things I listed. It's the lack of pay, the jobs, the pay not going up. It's the jobs not being plentiful that are the types of jobs that allow you to pay for all the things you need to pay for in order to live a stable life. It is the influx of drugs in the community. It is the lack of opportunity, resources, quality schools, all these things, like all of this. And she's not talking about any of it because she's spending all of her time dumping on Trump and trying to tie him into everything that's negative in our communities. And at the end of the day, Trump ain't president. Trump's not the president. So all the Democrats are doing is talking around Biden. It's talking about how things are going to be different when Democrats are not in control while trying to get you to vote for a Democrat. Get what I'm saying, guys? They want you to believe that everything will be solved if they could only get a Democrat in office, even though they have a Democrat in office. And if all it took was for a Democrat to be in office to solve our problems, wouldn't the problems be solved because you currently have a Democrat in office? So if Democrat in office is going to solve the problems, wouldn't the problems already be solved? And I wish I was... I need to do is have we could win this game if we had LeBron James to come in. We do have LeBron James. Yeah, well, if we could only have LeBron James. But you do have LeBron James. Well, LeBron. Not this LeBron, the other LeBron. And in this case, you have the actual vice president of the current administration in a circuit saying the only solution that makes any sense is to put the same people back in. And that's a hard sell. I don't give a hell who you are. I would like to leave it all with Jasmine Crockett, but she ain't the only one that talks delusional. Someone sent this to me. I'm sorry, guys. Can we get some likes on that particular segment, guys? Can we get some likes for that? Folks, I don't know if we're at 500 likes yet. I hope we're at least 500. Buck, how we doing, brother? Are we at the 500 mark? Did we get any new people to come in? This show is brought to you by Tim Black on patreon.com. Join independent media. Support this media. We're doing our best to grow it. Help make it happen. We do this every day of the week except Saturday. I'm crazy. I'm insane. I keep doing this content. We ain't going to stop. Live shows, 6 days a week. Come join us. Patreon.com, Tim's Take Live. Patreon.com, Tim's Take Live. Join TimBlack.com. If that doesn't work, it's patreon.com, Tim's Take Live. Someone sent this to me just before I went to air, right? Or stream. Someone sent this to me. And it's Jonathan Capehart over at MSNBC. Let's just do a little bit of it just because I want to see what it's on. Jonathan Capehart is known to be a crazy guy when it comes to Kamala Harris. Loses his mind like the rest. Let's see what they're talking about.
This message came this morning by way of a new New York Times poll of black voters. At 78%, Vice President Harris still enjoys overwhelming support, but that's down from the 90% President Biden won in 2020. And among black men, Harris stands at 70%, but that's down from Biden's 85% in 2020. The very idea that Donald Trump could pull in 20% of the black male vote, despite what he did to the Central Park Five and what he promises to do with a day of violence for the police and a return to the de facto racial profiling of stop and frisk, is mind-boggling. But I take
Jesus Christ. I don't even know if I have the energy to rebut any of this. And you know what? I don't want to spin it. Capehart is crazy. Let him keep going.
Take it seriously, because the race is tied. This election will be won on turnout. And in battleground states like Pennsylvania and Michigan, not one vote can be taken for granted.
Wow. Not one vote can be taken for granted. Well, how about, I got to say, I'm pleasantly surprised. Of course, there were three things thrown in there. You got to expect Capehart to do that, where he's going to take the focus away from his candidate, is where it should be. You know, guys, one of the worst things about politics is it just plays against common practice when it comes to winning something. Yeah, you know when, how can I say this? In any other thing that you're trying to win, your criticism should be pointed at the people that you're trying, your side of the ball. You know what I'm saying? Like, it should be focused on what Kamala needs to do. I don't get it why all the focus is based on how Trump is behaving. If they wanted to help Kamala, they should be telling Kamala to change her tactics because her tactics aren't working. She should change her rhetoric. Do a freaking press conference. How about that? How about one press conference? Instead of begging Trump to do another debate, won't you talk to reporters? She hasn't done that yet. Wow, what a thought. But see, if you say that, you don't get to be Jonathan Capehart anymore. You end up being Tim Black on a show on YouTube going, what happened? It took away my career. Because you cannot criticize the Democratic Party and still be invited to the parties. And that's why they get to do this over and over, where it's just bring up 30 years ago. Trump took out an ad about the Central Park Five. Leave out that the NYPD said these kids confessed. Leave that out because no one wants to know that. That's not important. Then leave out the fact Kamala Harris kept prisoners in jail beyond their time. Had to be ordered to release prisoners because they were dying. I wonder what color the people you were that you are thinking, the color of the prisoners that were dying in the prisons that Kamala Harris would not let go. It had to be ordered to release. I wonder, who do you think they were? Were they a bunch of white supremacists? And would that matter? But see, this is the way that they do us every election. Thank God we only got 24 more days of this nonsense, this craziness. This is not, to me, this is not about Obama. This is not about Kamala. This is not about Trump. This is about us. And how can we leverage this political nonsense, this crazy uniparty garbage, these horrible choices to go back and to go way back? That's your option. Go back and go way back, or go to the fringe. Go to Jill Steiner, Dr. Jill Steiner, Dr. Cornel Wessel, Claudia De La Cruz, my sister, with them getting no oxygen at all at their campaigns. I mean, if I walked up to some people in Maryland, there's a segment, a huge segment of Marylanders that if I walked up to them and said, you vote for Jill Stein, they go, Gesundheit. They would have thought I sneezed. They wouldn't even know what a Jill Stein is. Jill Stein, what? What do you say? Because they don't even get any publicity, enough promotion for you to even know who they are. So for all points and purposes, what we have Trump and Kamala, and all I'm saying, and I said it, and I'm going to keep saying it, contrary to popular opinion, I feel that Kamala Harris is the greater evil. That's what I believe. I don't believe Project 2025. You're so busy talking about that project. What about Project 2020 and Project 2024? What about those projects? What about the projects that some of us still live in? What about those projects? What about this military-industrial complex project and the mass incarceration project and the project of Wall Street owning every damn thing? A project of BlackRock buying up all the damn property. What about that project? The project of school-to-prison pipeline, the project of over-policing, the project of underfunding. What about all the other projects? The projects of the gig economy becoming like a thing. The project of we used to produce something in this country. Now all we got is a bunch of people trying to grab money out of another guy's pocket. I forget where I get that movie from, or that line from. It's a movie. We used to build things in this country. Now all we do is put our hand in the next guy's pocket. The Wire. The point is, it's coming down to the wire. We only got 24 days to go, and the Kamala Harris campaign is catastrophically collapsing. It's a catastrophe. And it's as we saw it to be. It is now doing the thing we said it was going to do. Because at some point, people had to hear her talk. And whatever you visualize, you can visualize a person's certain thing. It's like you're going on a hot date with a person you have never met. And if they look good, you go, wow. And as you get to talk to them, as the rubber meets the road, as you have these conversations, hell, you can meet somebody, talk to them, start dating them, and think they're amazing. But then as you really get to know them, then you find out stuff. Find out that they don't have much respect for their mother, or you find out that they're cheap, or you find out they're a shopaholic, or you find out they talk with their hands, or you find out that they got a lot of friends, and you know what I'm saying? A lot of friends. You find out things that they're unhygienic, unclean, rude, selfish, greedy, self-centered, narcissistic, whatever. And you find out over time. Well, the American people are finding out about Kamala Harris. And the Kia Dion on TikTok, she may have been very over-the-top dramatical with it for fun. But I think it's true. I think the next shoe will drop when the numbers show that Black women aren't excited about Kamala either. And then, maybe then we can reshape this political alignment and get it more reasonable to what free people do, which is choose like anybody else. And that will be the day. All right, guys, let's go to the comment section, man. Let's go to the comment section. Give me a like for this content. If you like the content so far, thank you for being here. Who's in the house, man? Who are my people that commented tonight? JD Informant, Coleman Hughes, go back to dancing in your underwear. Coleman Hughes. Lord have mercy. Coleman Hughes, I know, fam. Fantamos. Hit the like button. I haven't been here in a while. What's up, Fantomas? Come back, fam. Glad to see you. Instead of lecturing Black men, Obama should be lecturing Harris. Right. Exactly. Who spends their time? Trump. Look, Obama should be a coach. And the coach should be behind the scenes talking to Kamala, not talking to us. But that's what I'm saying. This was a Hail Mary. Either this was a Hail Mary, Saxena, Manu. This was either a Hail Mary by Obama or was a monkey wrench. Adopting better policies to appeal to the majority, like stopping genocide. Black Mamba in the house. Thank you, Black Mamba. Ghost, what's your favorite anime, Tim? You know what? I don't have one. We was in TV and she. We was TV and she. I don't know what that is. Have you ever been to Luther's in San Antonio? Pretty clean bathroom stalls. LB Copolis. I can't. I don't know, fam. What's going on, fam? I don't know. My name is Tim Black. You can find me at Real Tim Black on most social media. If not, try me at Tim Black Show. That's TikTok and Instagram. TikTok Show. Damn. Tim Black Show. Is it that so much? I'm out of it, man. I guess I'm done. Look, man, I can't call it any other way. When they say that it's tied up, I believe that means that Trump is up by 5. It's Trump's battle to lose. It's his race to lose. And you know what, folks? Contrary to what they've been telling everyone, it has always been his to lose. He was always up. Okay? He was up with Biden. Kamala comes in, she gets a splurge of media, money, and then Slides down, baby. All right, guys, that's all I got. I got number love for you. Remember, join us at patreon.com, Tim's Take Live. Become a member of Independent Media. Become a member of the Tim Black Wolf Pack, Tim Black, Team Black. Join us today. We'll be back tomorrow, 9:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I got number love for you. And like we always say, don't let nobody take your cornbread. That's your cornbread. Keep your cornbread. Don't buy into the narratives. Don't play the games. It ain't up to you to convince people of reality. Let time do that for you. Because you can deny gravity all you want till you step out that plane. Then you'll find out that you may deny gravity, but gravity, it ain't denying you. All right. Nothing but love for y'all. Thank you, Buck Bewley, my brother. I want to thank all my people in the Wolf Pack, all the people that contribute to this show. Thank you for supporting us all this time. It's because of you we're able to do what we do. I'll see you on the next one. Shout out to all the people that support this channel. You are amazing. All right. Memberships. Hit like on your way out, guys. Hit the like button on your way out. Let them know the Tim Black Show was on fire tonight. We were on fire tonight. Yeah. They may be able to overshadow me. They may be able to hide me. But once I get going, you can't out-rock me. Wolfpack. All right. Now, where are my ladies? They were here. Oh, there they go.
Now, there you go. I can't wait till it's my turn.